Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of The Box Score. I'm your host, Gina Aspas, Social Media and Marketing Manager here at Rio Vista Little League. We'll be conducting a series of interviews with some of the incredible people we are proud to call volunteers at our league. As you know, Little League is only successful thanks to the thousands of volunteers who so generously give their time, experience, and knowledge so that millions of boys and girls globally may enjoy our wonderful sport. Our guest today is Matt Sanders. He's one of our most experienced volunteers. He coaches, umpires, and sits on our board as treasurer. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Gina. Thanks for having me.
Start us off with your background. How and when did you get involved with Little League?
So I signed my son up in the spring of 2020. That was the season that was shortened because of COVID. And we got through some practices, got ready to start our season, and everything came to a crashing halt. So that was my first season. We've been involved ever since. Came back the immediate spring after, as soon as baseball was up and going again, we were back.
Awesome. You mentioned you volunteer in 3 roles. You coach, umpire, and you're a governing board member. Why did you choose to take on 3 roles?
Well, I knew early on that I wanted to be involved with Little League. I was a Little League player when I was young. I've always loved baseball. I knew as soon as my son was old enough, we were going to get him involved with Little League, and I wanted to be involved as well. So it was just a natural for me to become a coach. Never really intended to do more than that, but I was hooked by the Rio Vista family, and here I am doing multiple roles.
Yeah, I feel my experience is the same. I started as a parent of a player, and I knew I wanted to volunteer right away for Team Mom, and I had a lot of fun with that. And now I get to do our social media, and it's just been so awesome. But the volunteer role I wanted to highlight today is umpiring. Can you tell us a little more about what it's like to be an umpire?
Sure. I never envisioned myself being an umpire. It wasn't until I got out here and saw how the games were run and how great the umpires that we had volunteering were. When the opportunity came to get involved and learn it for myself, I was highly interested. I've actually come to love umpiring more than coaching. As fun as coaching is, I absolutely love being an umpire. The kids are so fun on the field. It's such an important thing to give them an umpire. I don't know how many games I played as a kid where we didn't have umpires and coaches did what they did. And so to be able to get out here and make sure those kids have a nice, fair, fun, organized environment to play their games in is what's most important to me.
Absolutely. We really appreciate it. Would you say there's a difference between umpiring a fall game versus spring or an all-star game?
Yes, there definitely is. In the fall, we focus on instructional baseball. So coaches will take time out of the game to make sure kids are instructed if they do something a little incorrect or if there's something they can do a little better. Coaches will take that time. But as an umpire, we'll also take that time to instruct the kids on how to position themselves better to avoid any type of obstruction or interference. We will take our time to make sure that they are in the batter's box correctly, getting aligned correctly, things that we wouldn't do in the spring season. In the spring season, we leave that up to the coaches to coach. As an umpire, we're strictly there to manage the game and make sure that everything is happening according to the rule book. And then as we get into our postseason, our all-star tournaments, it becomes even that much more competitive. So we're even more hands-off. We hold the coaches to a much higher standard once we get to the all-star level.
Certainly. Here's a question for you. Can anyone become an umpire, and what's that process like?
Absolutely. Anyone who's interested in the game and wants to learn a little more about the rules, we're happy to teach them. We do need them to be 12 years or older. We're happy to get the youth out here and teach them to be junior umpires. We will provide clinics, we'll provide instruction. In fact, we even got a great donation last season from umpire.com, and we have multiple sets of brand new umpire equipment to loan out for anyone who's interested.
To send us off, what is one thing you would like to tell our viewers to encourage them to seriously look into volunteering with Rio Vista as an umpire?
Well, I think for me, and probably for many parents, the hardest thing to get over is that time commitment piece. And you feel like you're not going to have enough time to commit to it. And what I say to that is, just make the commitment. You will find the time, and you'll find that whatever role you're interested in getting involved with, you're going to have people to support you, whether it's fellow parents on the team, fellow umpires, fellow board members. There's going to be someone to help pick you up. There's going to be times where you can't make it on time. You have to miss a day altogether. It's okay. We have plenty of other volunteers to step in. So just make the commitment. Tell yourself you can do it. Get out here. We're all going to help you succeed. and you're going to, more importantly, help the kids have a great experience out here. It's only as good as we all make it as parents and volunteers.
Absolutely, and we hope you join us out here. Matt, thank you so much for sitting with us today and giving us some insight on your experience and what it's like to be a Little League umpire.
Thank you, Gina. Thanks for having me.
To our viewers, if you or someone you know may be interested in umpiring, you can reach out to us at info@riovistalittleleague.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and keep an eye out for plenty of opportunities to volunteer at other events with Rio Vista Little League. Folks, thanks for tuning in. I'm Gina Osbas, and you've been watching The Box Score.